Hello all, and welcome to the zoo.
Why am I here?
Minions of the Zoo is a lovable ragtag group of misfits that sprang up initially as a fan group to Ranting Monkey, Scribelite, Some Dumb American, and their joint Lords of the Night livestream show. Late night discussions in Discord quickly evolved into streams of their own, with each member bringing something new and different to the table for discussion. Led by the incomparable Rejekt PPC and the one-ton hammer, the group rotates hosts known as Zookeepers.
Hello everybody and welcome to Minions of the Zoo. I am your host for this evening, One Ton Hammer.
I will be your zookeeper tonight, Rejekt.
Alright, and welcome to the zoo. I am TheLuckyPoptart.
Inquisitor? Sanguine.
Skep Tock.
I'm Prospero.
And I'm Delahazed.
Regular streamers, they're known as minions, and special guests are known as traveling exhibits. They're on a nightly basis, so that each show has something unique and fresh for our audience. Minions of the Zoo currently streams at 10:30 Central Standard, 11:30 Eastern Standard Time.
Let's be xenophobic, it's really in this year. Let's find a nasty, slimy, ugly alien to fear. There's no more cutesy stories about E.T. phoning home. Let's learn to love our neighbors like the Christians learned in Rome. We know we ought to hate them, they're different, you see. We've seen they're mean and ugly on movies and TV. The folks that ought to know have told us how it's got to be. The gospel truth is found in scenes from Alien and V. Let's wipe out any life form that seems to be a threat. We'll serve them up a genocide they never will forget. 'Cause if we miss a couple, they'll breed a couple more. And soon we'll all be hating twice as many as before. You see, aliens can never be as good as humankind. A more delightful race than us you'll never ever find. So step aside, you star slime, we're ready for your worst. We know you want to beat us, enslave us and defeat us, oppress us and browbeat us unless we get you first.
Mr. Yes is going you're a boomer.
There we go. All right.
Mr. Yes, turn on the sound.
Yeah, for some reason the my automatic unmuter gets fucked up when I have to swap out my microphone because I don't keep my Blue Yeti plugged into my laptop. So this would work. My demuter would work if I left it all plugged in, like if I still had my desktop able to be used. So I don't know. I guess that's gonna have to give me an incentive to go and fix my desktop. So sorry about that, everyone. Welcome to the zoo. I'm your Zookeeper. Yes. Anyway. So yeah, this is the hill I've got to die on here. It's trying to fix this dude. No, so you can.
So, hi, chat again.
You can see.
Happy Monday.
You can see some of the stuff here, Sora. Like where the yellow gets darker over here. I'm leaving it that way intentionally because I'm trying to create a sense of shadow. But over here, this stuff is getting a little too thick again, and that's what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to thin down this and even it out because the reason why yellow is so hard to work with is because it creates texture, and it's really hard to get even coats. So it's just frustrating is all. I hate painting yellow. Which is part of the reason I'm not really looking forward to working on my Imperial Fists that I want to build. Because they're all yellow.
Don't you love having an army like that?
Yeah. Well, if I can, iron out all the kinks here with my assault intercessors and figure everything out, that'll make painting my Imperial Fists that much easier.
Sorry about the quiet on my end. I just got an issue from work, so I'm just having to, while we're talking, log on to work. Because, you gotta
troubleshoot some problems.
Yeah.
Are you on call or something at work?
No. It's just like it was a mass, like, who can get online right now?
No.
Like, I'm online, I can log on.
I say it's also good. I got the two Canadians here, two of the Canadians here, because we've been having a really good time down here in Chicago. Let's keep it that way, huh? How about you let Ontario know that we don't want any more cold weather coming down here.
We don't want it either.
Yeah, no backseas, no refunds or returns.
Honestly, all this week is mid to high teens next to no humidity, and I just got finished building my next set of minis. I'm gonna be priming this week.
There you go. I got a whole stack of regular intercessors over there with auto bolt rifles to go and prime, as well as the second squad of Skitari Rangers sitting over here in my paint booth. So I'm gonna do some priming as well this weekend, hopefully, or this week, hopefully. Weekend. It's already a little too late for the weekend. It's Monday. Happy Monday, everyone!
Yay.
So I've been recently obsessed with and been been playing a lot of Red Dead Redemption 2. It's been pretty good.
And how do you like your horse?
Well, the horse is
Get a
great.
horse?
The horse is great. The one thing that I love that I immediately did is upon getting into the main town, there's a guy who is there we go. Fucking new unreds, not fucking. There we go. Anyway, there's a guy peddling eugenics. And they're talking about the purity of the white race and all sorts of shit like that. And mind you, this is coming, trying to be peddled to a guy who's part of a gang that consists of a half black, half Native American man, a full black man, a Mexican, several women, a German, all sorts of stuff like that. So this is a pretty egalitarian outlaw gang. And so I walk up to him and I start antagonizing him. I'm sitting there going like, I've known good black men. I've known really shitty white people. And then he's like, are you calling my principles into question, sir? You are a fool! A fool! And he spits on Arthur. So then I chase down this guy into the middle of the street. I beat him unconscious. I take all of his money, and then walk him out to the docks, where I then dump his unconscious body into the bay.
That's one way of dealing with people.
Yeah.
Okay. Not that I agree with eugenics at all, but I think that was a bit serious.
Oh no, it's fine. I say not only that. And remember, I'm an outlaw. I don't give a shit. And don't worry, everyone. I'll do the same to the suffragette when I find her.
Hey, the feminists of that time had a point.
Hey man, if I were to take my one black friend from the gang along with, I'm sure she would be just as adamant about his inferiority. Because let's not forget, one of the things that Susan B. Anthony said is that she would rather women never get the right to vote before black men get the right to vote.
Jesus Christ. Huh?
There is no such thing as a good wave of feminism. I've said that a million times.
I mean, okay, fair enough. I was about to advocate for the end of the first wave, but those guys quickly turned into the most successful domestic terrorist organization in U.S. history, the Temperance Movement.
Oh yeah. They successfully got an amendment passed. And yet, now we have feminists in current age, and they're saying that they want an equality amendment.
Yeah, the
For
last
what?
time feminists got an amendment passed.
Yeah, it was abstinence. Or not abstinence, prohibition. Is that a good thing? I don't think so.
Preventing the sale or transference of alcohol. Sale, transference, and any form of public consumption. My mistake.
Yes.
Are you aware that possession, manufacturing, and I think a medical were actually explicitly exempted?
I don't think. Well, okay. No one's gonna go run around drinking medical alcohol, like disinfecting alcohol.
They did.
Well, they did.
They
Yeah.
did.
Oh yeah. Yeah, the well, someone's got to have their booze, you know. I don't know, the other stuff. It's well, no, there was a prohibition on manufacture, and that's the reason why you had the rum runners and the moonshiners.
Manufacture was so heavily controlled and censored that, and of course the fact that the sale was completely forbidden.
Yeah.
That's what put out most manufacturers. Sure, Congress said, we're not buying it, we're just taking it in lieu of taxes. And then probably getting smashed every single night.
Well, yeah, you had the ex post facto law about anyone who had booze before prohibition was exempt.
There was nothing against private consumption or possession. The issue was most of the rum running was either transference, unlawful manufacturing, sale, or public consumption.
Yeah.
Just let Jim Bob have his home still, please.
Well, that's the reason why we repealed the amendment. It's the only amendment that was so bad that it had to have its own amendment saying, okay, our bad.
There's two others I think that should be modified. One, I actually have a reason for, and the other's just a meme.
Okay.
I think it's 16 and 18. Then again, it could go just as easily be 14 and 18.
And what are your reasons?
14 because, well, whatever one it is the same one Kanye brought up when he railed against it. If you are incarcerated, you can be enslaved legally.
Oh, like press gangs and that kind of, or whatever they're called. The workers.
The amendment explicitly stated that incarceration or being found guilty of crime can be punished by slavery.
Oh, that's never been changed?
No. I think most state laws have covered up that loophole. However, at the amendment level, no.
Well, do you really think it would be good PR to do that?
Yeah, I mean, I don't see that actually happening, but it's interesting that that's a thing.
But there are work prisons, and the some of the work prisons actually do allow things like vouchers for commissary. You can, in lieu of getting paid for your job, which you are not, you get things like a TV in your cell.
Mm-hmm. There's also labor sentences for a lot of things.
Yeah.
300 hours community service. That's technically a labor sentence.
Sure.
And 18, well... How many things have gone right since women have been allowed to vote?
What was the very first thing that they voted for?
Exactly.
What was that, sorry?
A penguin in the White House.
No,
I don't know.
It was a war.
Good.
We're only men and
The
boys.
blood
We're
flow.
we're only...
That's your problem.
Oh, I see where Sora stands on the whole feminism issue now.
Which war are you referring to?
World War I.
17. 18 was, that was 1917. The 18th Amendment was passed in 1919.
Oh, really?
Yeah, the first major thing women had to write on was prohibition.
Oh, okay.
But I mean, did they? What was their? There's like no lips that touch mine shall ever or touch booze shall ever touch mine. That was them, right? That's the temperance movement.
That's temperance. Yep.
Yeah. So, did they come from a place of like being Protestant or Catholic or something? Because I could understand that.
Old
like
Southern Protestants.
Yeah, they're the no fun people.
Yeah. All right, here we go. Here we go. I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna do it, everyone.
What you gonna do?
Painting wings on the black.
Oh. Hi, Cryptic. Of course, like the 1 second I actually look at chat tonight and there's Cryptic being insulting. I see. You know who's first to die, Cryptic? I'd have to look away. Back to work.
I still need to get my hands on a plasma blast gun. Like, just the gun. I can probably kit bash together a Stormblade if I had the gun.
Well, the core amount of like the core build to make a plasma blast gun is still in the regular Baneblade kit.
Really?
Yeah, because the actual hull where it attaches is the same as some of the other hull-mounted guns, like the oh god, that one.
A Shadow Sword is actually a good...
Shadow Sword, yeah.
That's what I'm saying. All I really need is the gun.
Yes. And technically speaking, I don't think there's very much difference between the Warhound version and the Stormblade version.
Maybe an attached arm?
I think that the arm is actually just mounted to the top of the gun. So, like, the arm mounting, maybe, but the actual gun itself is, I think, no different.
Well, that and a full blade kit is probably the same cost as a Stormblade.
There we go. I think that looks okay. Maybe I need to clean up a little bit on that smaller Pentium. Hardest part about doing this is mirroring it on the other side.
Oh shit.
Oh my goodness.
Forge World's no longer selling Stormblades.
What was that, Sora?
That sounded like Chewbacca.
That was Jake. Hi, Jake. You want attention? Is that it?
Oh, so cute. Oh my god.
So there we go. I probably need to touch it up here. I need to get rid of that little bit there and then clean that up in there, but...
Oh, Mr. Yes asked if we have a constitution. I guess.
Not like us. Canada does not have a constitution like us.
We have our own flavor. We have the charter of...
There are two documents that roughly equate to the Bill of Rights and U.S. Constitution. Their implementation and exact method of legislative modification. And before you protest, constitutional amendments are constitutional modification.
They are. That's the whole point.
And that would be our own constitution, which lays out basically the mode of how the federal government runs, and the Canadian Charter, which stands in for the Bill of Rights. Both basically require the same amount of effort as a U.S. constitutional amendment to change. However, there is not an executive veto on the whole thing. That is the main difference.
Well, I don't think there's an executive veto on a constitution when trying to change an amendment or implement an amendment. There is
Typically because as soon as an amendment change is tabled, typically it has enough to override the veto as is.
Well, yeah, the actual amount of votes required to make an amendment is overwhelming majority in both House and Senate. So, yeah.
2/3 in a joint session. And then it's like 30 states. Like ratification in 30 state legislators. By which point the presidential veto doesn't mean shit.
Part of our whole checks and balances.
Of course. Because something that big sort of requires that, yeah, most people are on board with this idea.
I gotta let that dry for a second because I fucked up this Pentium right here, and that's kind of the linchpin of continuing. But I can still paint the company badge on the other cauldron.
Cool. Whoever created emergency room check-in and referral sheets has to be a part of like the 10th circle of hell or something like that, because they are horrible, unintelligible completely.
Emergency room transfer sheets, meaning someone
like referral, what they came in for, where they're going, that kind of stuff.
Gotcha. Huh.
Oh, puppy.
Yeah, sorry, I don't know what he wants.
I don't even.
Before we went live, I took him out, so he doesn't need to go out. I think he's just whining to get my attention.
And you're talking to the air, and he's like, "Why?
Why are you talking to the air and not to me, huh?"
I don't even know why I like the plasma blast gun. I probably just its aesthetics.
Well, it looks cool, yes. It's also a Titan gun that's, fit to a tank, which is also really cool. To me, though, the better of the Titan guns that are fit to a Baneblade size chassis is the Vulcan Mega Bolter on the Stormlord.
Wait, that's the same weapon as is found on Reavers?
On Warhounds. You can take a Vulcan Mega Bolter on a Reaver. On a Warhound. Exactly the same gun.
Is that basically what Baneblades are? Just Warhound main armaments strapped to tanks?
Okay. Major difference? Warhound gets 2.
Of course.
Baneblade gets 1. So you need to have 2 Baneblade tanks to equal 1 Warhound Titan.
In terms of armament, yes, you get about as much.
Yes. Mainly because the Baneblade and all of the other blade chassis has enough other guns to make it so that it's more capable of dealing with armies. Whereas the Warhound is more capable of dealing with establishments and armor.
Oh, baby. Oh my god.
Jay,
His little voice.
what do you want to interject in the conversation, huh, Jake? You want to interject? Do you want to interject? Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. You want belly rubs?
Good boy.
You want belly rubs? I'm giving you belly rubs. Yes, giving you belly rubs.
Like, that'll do.
I'm sorry, I can't have you on my lap while I'm painting, Jake. I know.
I like being part of a Commonwealth, Mr. Yes. It's kind of neat. I want a president. Cryptic is asking which one of you is a World of Warcraft nerd. You are, sir.
I used to be back in the day, but not so much anymore.
Travesty against nature incoming. Forge World no longer sells Mars pattern Warhound bodies.
Are you sure it's not just temporary?
It says sold out, unavailable online.
I think that will change. Let's see. Unless they plan on making a Warhound kit over on G-Dub's store.
I'd appreciate a plastic kit for the Warhound and for the Stormblade.
Let's see. See, I think they should probably have just gone entirely with making the Warhound made to order. That's way too, like, all the Titans are just way too expensive to not just say, we're gonna make this only to made to order, because there's no sense in making stock
Of something that costs
$525 just for the body, not for the arms.
Which are another $2.
Yeah, you're looking at about $1,000 to buy the smallest Titan.
Meanwhile, if you permit me this Titanicus, you can get 2 for like $70.
$30. 35. 2 for 35.
Wait, it's a $40 kit?
It's 2 for 35, yes. Oh no, sorry, I'm wrong. 2 for 65. They still have Warlord Titans in stock. But Warlords cost $1,510 just for the body.
What the hell? I agree, Jake.
And then and then you have to buy 2 carapace weapons
You don't
and
have
2
to buy a
arms.
carapace weapon. Hey, come here. You come here. Yeah, you come here. You want a toy? Is that it? You want a toy? Sora, the reason why that thing costs as much as it does, it's made out of solid resin, has a metal core, and is the size of a toddler.
Jesus Christ.
And it's the second largest kit. I mean, second tallest kit available in either store.
No. It's the tallest.
The Phantom's taller.
Is the Phantom tall? Nah, Phantom's not taller.
The Phantom's taller, but there's just a lot less to it because,
It's
well,
Eldar.
Eldar.
Yeah.
Like, I've heard the Phantom is something like 42 inches tall. Whereas the Warlord is 36-ish.
Okay, so the Phantom's head is taller than the shoulders of the Warlord. With the Carapace gun, it stands taller than even the Phantom if it has the shoulder thin ridges.
Damn.
But yeah, the core body of the Phantom is slightly taller than the Warlord.
Freaking Titans.
There you go. I'll save this picture and post it in dungeon chat for you there, Sora.
Cool.
Let's see. Oh no, fuck it. I'll post it in general voice. Considering that's one I can do without scrolling and having to fucking reorient everything for the stream. There you go.
Right.
There's all of the Titans that they sell. Size comparison.
Yeah, Warlord, Reaver, the Phantom, and then what
These
looks
are
like a bunch of...
movie models for like
Yeah.
stop action
Yeah.
or stop motion, pardon me.
And they're made entirely out of resin and with like a metal core too. Each one weighs about a good maybe 50 something pounds.
Seriously?
Yes, yes they do. I say our local store, the guy who runs it has a Chaos Warhound Titan.
And that's a solid piece of metal. I mean, resin, isn't it?
Yeah, it's got it. Even the Warhound has a metal core. It's just in the hips and torso section, but yes, it's almost like a solid hunk of resin around a small metal core.
And this is why Adeptus Titanicus is a thing.
Well, yeah, as I say, Adeptus Titanicus is, scratching the itch for people that want to paint and play with Titans, but are sane.
They don't want to drop the same cost as a car on 3 of them.
Yes. And that's not at all exaggerating. They actually had they had a listing for a maniple of Titans that cost $6,000.
8 Canadian. It's just...
Excuse me.
What did that maniple actually contain?
1 Warlord, 1 Reaver, and 1 Warhound.
Oh, I thought it was a kit with 5 of them.
No.
I don't know. They look so cool, but I don't think I would want to spend $1,000.
I get you. I say I don't want to either.
and this is, and obviously not my passion. So
it is mine, and I wouldn't want to.
Yeah.
No,
Assassin of the Grey says price gouging. Yeah.
Yeah,
it kind of feels that way.
Here's the thing, right? It's they're obviously playing to the whales, to use comic shop terminology here. They're the people that are going to buy those things regardless of what they cost. So they price it around the idea of selling to them. That's all well and good, because the people that can't afford it aren't going to pay for it. And it'd be doubtful whether or not they could, or they would, even if they could. So I get it to some extent. I say, money is no object, of course I want some. I think they'd be really, really fun to paint. But as it stands right now, with money the way that it currently is for me, it's cool being just a pipe dream.
Yeah, I'd rather own a dozen warlords. I mean, okay, in Adeptus Titanicus, I can possibly eventually own a dozen warlords.
They're $110 per warlord.
Add in the upgrade sprues, because probably its default armament is meh. I was about to say a dozen war hounds. So that would be 6 kits, 80 a kit in Canadian. $500 for a dozen war hounds.
That's not bad. It's about as much as a 40k army. Here we go. I think this guy is almost ready for his ink. I think the chapter badge here is coming along pretty good. I just need to trim up a little bit of the yellow on this side.
Thanks for reminding me. I do need to get myself a Salamander's transfer sheet.
Be a man and paint your own.
I'm new to this.
I know. I'm just fucking with you. Hand paint like a boss.
You should totally paint your own.
I will once I have the confidence to freehand it on this teeny tiny little thing.
Yeah, I don't have any steady hands for like itty bitty things.
I don't know what you're talking about, Sora. You need to have steady hands to do cross stitching. And you just said that that's a new thing that you're getting into.
Yeah, but I'm like stabbing at a fabric.
I was gonna say there's a.
It's fine. Mind you, I also, like, when we used to do surgeries at work and stuff, I was pretty good at holding sutures, so, in delicate, or in delicate areas for people, so.
I say, there's a cross-stitch pattern I should find for you. I found it a while ago, but it's, be careful around me, because I've got the patience to stab something over 1,000 times.
That's good. That would be perfect for people who do felting. You know, like the little felting animals, because like you literally have to stab with an extra sharp needle into this felting wool until you've molded this like fluff into a solid like shape, and you can see some beautiful animals are created out of this, right? So to have the patience to constantly do that and potentially stab yourself quite painfully, I think that those are the people you need to be wary of. But actually, beyond the occasional frustration when I was like this close to pulling my hair out, it's actually it's great because I put on, I don't know, some stream I haven't listened to in the background, like on autoplay for a few, and then the weekend disappears.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's real nice. I say it's very cathartic
nice,
too.
yeah.
So when I was you know, painting a lot more often than I currently am right now, that's exactly what I would do. Is I'd put on something in the background and just paint all weekend. It was nice. I need to get back there. That's the goal about getting the hobbies done is getting back to that.
Actually having a chance to enjoy it.
Yeah. Shit. Forgot I didn't paint that part of the gauntlet. So I can ink everything else but that. I'll have to go back to that. I think this will be actually the first 100% fully finished Primaris Marine I've ever painted.
Nice.
Not exactly a great milestone. It's just a Primaris Marine.
Well,
How?
it's the fact that I don't have very many of them, my man.
True. But I'm just saying it's...
Yeah, let's bring the man down, why don't you?
Hey! Both him and I are probably on the anti-Belisarius cult bandwagon.
Yes. But I will say this: the Assault Intercessors, totally a Blood Angel thing, and I'm glad for them.
Sure, they're just for Blood Angels. Meanwhile, White Scars, Black Templars, and Space Wolves say what?
Totally a Blood Angels thing.
I just named off the other 3 melee chapters.
Nah, well, no, I say the White Scars aren't really a melee chapter. Not really.
Their Super Doctrine is literally +1 damage in the fight phase, and they can advance and charge or fall back and charge.
Yes, but that's mainly for bikes, and bikes are built around shooting, not getting into close combat.
Damn the lore. White Scars, by the rules, less so than the lore, I mean more so than the lore, are a melee chapter.
They can be, if you build them that way, but you can only take 3 groups of 3 Outriders.
Who said anything about Outriders?
Outriders are the melee bikes.
Again with this bike thing.
That's their whole point! It's the whole point of this White Scars! Their unique HQ choice is built around the fact that he's a melee biker.
Like electric biker or
no, we're like bikes as in like motorcycles.
Mike? Oh yeah.
They're all about speed and fast attacking, not necessarily bikes. I know the artwork, I know the lore.
Yes. So you take Outriders and a Khan on a bike.
Oh.
Even Jake is arguing against me.
Because he's a good boy.
I'm on Jake's side. I believe has an excellent point and he knows his stuff, so I'm gonna side with him.
Jake is definitely a lore expert at 40k. I mean, he lives with me.
I was gonna say by this point he better be. He's like, I support him, love him, but it's like one of those things where you just nod and smile.
Well, at least you acquiesced and said, yes, you can build White Stars like a melee chapter without the bikes.
Yeah, but why? Because you're supposed to build them with bikes.
That +1 damage on the charge.
Yes, with Outriders.
Assault Intercessors, Assault Terminators, Blade Guard Veterans, and Aggressors can use it just as well.
But they're not going to be able to get the charge as easy as Outriders.
Yeah.
True.
Sora's out here just going, yeah, see, yaha, I told you.
But that's what the capacity to advance and then charge has. Also, stuff a bunch of Assault Intercessors in an Impulsor, move them up after the transport has moved, advance them, and then charge them. There's a good bit of threat range.
I'd have to look at the Impulsor.
It's one of the only vehicles that can do that.
Yeah, I was gonna say, because normally, like with like Rhinos and Repulsors and even Land Raiders, you can't move, disembark, and still charge.
Hold up. And still...
I will give you all the attention in the world, Jaker, as soon as the stream's over. Okay? He's my little needy boy.
Jules is like, I think Sora's getting the idea, though. Totally. I sure.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
You are right.
So when are you going to get your first army there, Sora?
I'm thinking about the year 2080.
Okay.
I'm gonna save up a little bit, so when I go all out, I'll buy the paints and a couple of figurines. Start slow. Put it in my calendar.
That's what they all say. And quick, you are right. A unit in an Impulsor can disembark after the Impulsor has moved, but they cannot charge that turn.
There's the reason why all of those rules exist also is purely because of the Blood Angels. Sorry, our bad.
Yeah, it is your bad.
Because Blood Angels back in the day they still do, angry rhinos. So a rhino can move 12 inches, and the Blood Angels back in the day had to roll a d6. Anything but a 1, and you can advance that many inches. If you're a 1, the engine stalls, breaks, and you're immobilized. But you can potentially move 18 inches every turn. And you can then disembark and assault.
Okay, so you move extra and then
you can get out of the transport and get into close combat.
Pretty fun.
18, 9, another 12.
Well, remember, this is back in the day when assault was not a d6 or not 2d6. It was a flat 6.
Okay. So 9.
With a bit of alcohol, it might even be an 8.
So a 33-inch threat range.
Yes. playing shortboard edge, that's a turn 1 assault.
No, leave my guardsmen alone.
Well, that's the reason why I never really had much to fear from Tau players. As a Blood Angels player, I would just immediately run up the board and get them in close combat. There was nothing they could do about it. It's like they're saying like, we have really, really good guns and we'll kill you on the first turn. I'm just like, I'm gonna hide everything. And then turn 1, when it comes around to me, I'm going to round the corner and get right in your face, and there's nothing you can do about it.
Grid screens.
Kroot didn't survive. And Fire Warriors didn't survive either.
No. Why do the Kroot screens have to fail?
There's something satisfying about the fact that, like, all of my tactical marines back in the day, they just had bolters. I took a heavy weapon and a special weapon in the squads, yes. But that wasn't the whole point. The whole point in taking a las cannon in a tactical squad as a Blood Angels player was to use it as a really, really big club.
Yeah. Okay. I like that.
Oh, he's not kidding.
You have this great weapon. Yeah, I'm gonna bash you over the head with it.
Yep. The big old meathead logic. Me hit you in head with rock!
Sounds like an ogre idea.
Yeah. That's what the Ripper guns are for. They make the Ripper gun extremely robust because, Ripper, the Ogrins just use them as clubs.
Can I kit bash a Bulgrid to basically be wielding a las cannon as a club?
I mean, yeah, you just can't have it count as a las cannon.
No, it'll be counted as a Bulgrid maul.
There you go, yeah.
I found this on tag. I'm going to use it.
This is the Commissar had the foresight to disconnect the power cables first.
Oh, Ogrin.
I still love their old rule back in the day, back in 3rd edition. Ogrin actually had to have an officer tier character to get inside a transport with them. And the rule was called, "It's dark in there."
It's dark in there?
Yeah, it's dark in there.
Okay.
Yeah, because Ogrin are a subspecies of human that are very trollish. And I mean troll as in the creature.
They're very childlike. They're very simple.
Yes. Simple-minded, but big old slabs of meat and muscle.
Mm-hmm. So I just realized I didn't paint the base on this dude. So the way I've been painting the bases on all of my Blood Angels is I've been painting them Talarn sand, and then flocking them, and then painting the flock Talarn sand as well, so it looks like they're on a desert. They're in a desert.
Oh, Terry was here playing old point and click adventures. Zach McCracken and the Alien Benders. Now that is a name.
Oh, Zach McCracken? Oh yeah.
I don't know this one.
I love all those old point and click adventures.
Spent 10 minutes trying to. He spent 10 minutes trying to work out how to sell a butter knife to a pawn shop. Did you have to disguise yourself as a lady and then sell it? Because some of them, I swear, like you have to find like a costume and or put on a lipstick or something that has nothing to do with your quest, and then somehow you.
I can't remember what that's called. There's actually a term for it. Here, wait, hold on. Let me look it up. What is it called? I don't want lists. Come on.
Oh, do you want to start too since you're here? Do you want to add a cute noise? No, he's cuddled up.
Oh man, I can't find it. There's actually a term for the kind of logic you have to have when playing the those games, and it's based around the fact that it's not necessarily the fact that what you do in the game is logical to real life. You have to think like the developer wants you to think, because there's only one set way that a problem can be solved, and usually it's not intuitive.
That sounds like DM railroading to me.
Well, it's not really railroading because, like, okay, a good example of which, right? One of my favorite game series of all time is Gabriel Knight. It's a point-and-click adventure game, and I love it. I'm not going to say it's without problems. Everyone knows the notorious Gabriel Knight 3 scenario. Okay? Gabriel Knight 3 has a puzzle in which you have to take a piece of tape and pet a cat to get to get the cat's fur. Yeah.
Okay.
And then you have to steal your friend who's a police officer's badge. And it has his photo on it. He doesn't have a mustache. You need to draw a mustache onto his badge and then attach the cat fur onto your face to simulate you having a mustache.
Why? That's so convoluted. Is it to make you look, to disguise you even more so it makes you look closer to the person?
I don't know. It makes no sense. Nothing about it makes sense. It's the sort of things like when that puzzle is often cited as being the death knell of point-and-click adventure games.
That's too bad.
Yeah. Well, it's too bad because it's, like I said, it's my favorite game series,
it's also such a good genre. I really like it.
Yeah.
But it is full of, like, dumb. Well, like, I'm currently playing Edna and Harvey. I think it's like Bust Out or Breakout or something. It's the first one by Daedalic. And I spent, I think, a good 10-15 minutes stuck at the end of the first chapter and unable to go forward. And I'm like, what the hell? I've clicked everything. I've honestly clicked everything. I did, like, you have like 5 different actions you can do on any item that you can interact with. And I couldn't for the life of me move forward. And then finally I found that, I talked about one of the screws in this, like, shaft air conditioning sort of grating thing, and I was supposed to interact by sticking the bunny, so her stuffed rabbit, with it, and that sent us back in time. And I'm like, oh, okay. Obviously I must have not been paying attention when I was, like, listening and reading the dialogue, right?
No, you were. It's just incredibly convoluted.
Like, what the because, like, the way that the language was, it seemed like more geared towards we're going to get out by getting the guard to you're stuck in an asylum room, the cell. It sounds like, we're going to get the guard to like us because we, stroke his ego, and then he's going to slip up. Well, apparently I did it backwards because I got him to do something I wanted much earlier than I should have. So I didn't realize that I actually did unlocked something until, like, 10-15 minutes in, me trying to escape, and I don't understand what I'm supposed to trigger. I was like, that's because I did things out of order, which screwed up everything. So I had to go and find it broke me first chapter, and I found a walkthrough, you know? I was like, this is for kids.
Yeah. I was like, I actually, I was pretty proud of myself. I was able to complete Gabriel Knight 1 without a walkthrough.
Nice.
There was some convoluted stuff, but it wasn't too bad. And then Gabriel Knight 2 I beat without a walkthrough because it was an FMV game. And FMV games are always really simple. But, yeah. Oh, bud. Jake climbed up into my lap and he's been hugging.
A huggy.
Yeah.
It sounds like you two were spoiled with this genre. I grew up with 3D platformers.
Yeah, see, I'm a child of the 80s, my man. So I played, like, Mario in terms of platformers.
Yeah, the old 2D platformers.
Mm-hmm.
I could never really get behind a lot of them. The SNES 2D platformers were okay, but as soon as I hit the 3D platformers, it just felt better to have that third dimension.
Whereas I'm the exact opposite, man. I hate 3D platformers, especially ones that are more style over substance. Yeah, I'm saying fucking American McGee's Alice in Wonderland.
Oh,
as much as I
like
like that
you know
game.
how much I've wanted to play that? I've been looking to find it. I can't find it anywhere. It's like, yay! I have a PC now. I can play it, and it's like, nope.
I can look for you, Sora, if you want me to. Just give me a little bit.
Because I try to find it on sites where it's like sort of emulators and stuff, but it just doesn't exist anymore. Nobody seeded it, I guess, or it got removed. I don't know.
I have Alice 1 and Alice Returns for the 360.
They made a Afraid of the, like, was it like Lights Out collection for the Mac? So it had the first game, which had been released on the Mac, plus a couple, 2 other games, like horror adjacent games. And for a very short period, I found it. This is years ago now on Amazon, and then they got rid of it. It was like, I don't know, they either removed it or it was a short run for publication, and that's it. And it was so annoying because I love anything Alice related. So I was like, oh, damn, because I didn't have a computer at that time. It was in high school. So I was just like, oh, well, I can use it in the family computer. It's fine because we could use it for gaming because they were obviously CD-ROMs, not online downloads. But yeah.
I would say Geodes is comparing me to Ina. I'll say this for fucking 3D platformers, and the reason why I'm so frustrated with them. When I was playing Alice, the major problem with Alice is the major problem that there's that a lot of 3D platformers have, and that's butter shoes.
So what, you like go slippy slidey?
What it is that every time after you land a jump, you have momentum and you continue to slide.
Oh, that's annoying, and then you fall off and you die.
Yep.
Yeah, I know what you mean exactly.
However, there is a way to game the system a little bit with Alice. And it's if you use the camera angle and are able to angle it so that you've got the circle and the 2 feet icon, and use the jump then, holding no forward motion with the stick, you will jump and land and not move. But that means that you have to slow your momentum entirely to a stop to be able to make those kinds of jumps.
Yeah, you have to practice a lot.
Yeah. Yeah, that's part of the reason why I've always been about 3D platformers. Plus, I've said it a million times, if there is fall damage in a game, or you can like find a way to, if there is a mechanic where you can fall off of or into something, I will find a way to hurl myself into it. Every time I play a game like Unreal Tournament or something like that that has an area where there's fall damage or a way that you can fall off the stage, invariably I will have more negative kills to my name because I have killed myself more times than the enemy can kill me because I've hurled myself off of tall buildings.
Feel you. So in Lord of the Rings Online, when you're in the Mines of Moria, the whole, like, the good majority of that whole, like, world, you traverse on bridges, basically, right, connecting you from one area to the next and what have you. And I misstepped more than once in that whole area, falling to your death. And the thing is, you never hit the ground because you die, quote unquote, halfway to the fall, and then you get respawned. I'm like, God damn it, because you're not paying attention and you think, oh, I'm going straight because I'm pressing the straight arrow, but no, you're actually going straight, and then you veer left or you veer right, and then you fall off.
Yeah. So I think it needs to be said then that Sora did not fly, you fools.
No. I did make myself jump off that bridge though, because eventually you get to the gates. So you're eventually you find where the Balrog broke through, right? And there is that broken bridge, and totally just out of curiosity threw yourself over the edge. Nothing happened, you just die.
Damn.
What, you would want to go down and see Lake Miromir?
Well, yeah, I want to see the remains of the Balrog after being left to rot there by Gandalf the Grey. You know.
Unfortunately, you'd have to travel a good little bit past that. The movie doesn't do the whole fight actually much justice because it's in and out, and mostly covered in, well, the opening scene and a flashback. That fight lasted over a week, with half of the first day just falling down to Miromir, the lake at the bottom. Then it's a slow slog all the way back up to one of the peak dungeons.
I am not even sure. Oh. Welcome back. Eeyore dropped.
Oh, did he?
Returned us.
I hate my phone.
Oh.
and I'm sorry for having a little Tolkien nerd out there.
No, that's fine.
Yeah. I have no problems with Tolkien, not really. Conceptually speaking. Tolkien's fine. I just find his prose really dry. I read through all of Lord of the Rings and I thought it was a slog.
I'm a terrible fan because I I love his stories told by other people.
Yeah, right? I'm perfectly fine with Peter Jackson's interpretation of Lord of the Rings.
There's really only a couple of areas where Jackson sort of falls flat, and considering he was trying to adapt nearly 1,000-page tome across 3 books into, even then, a 10-hour movie series. Yeah, I can understand cutting out Glorfindel, a lot of the Elven songs, really trimming down the Council of Elrond.
The entirety of Tom Bombadil. Thank God.
Fair enough.
That's one of my favorite. That's one of my favorite part of Lord of the Rings Online is when you have to do the Tom Bombadil quest. That's really sweet. I really love his storyline.
He's so insufferable in the book, though.
I can't compare to it. So for me, it's just like, oh, he's so sweet. And then every time you visit his little home in the old forest there, it's just like, oh, this is such a sweet little haven away from all these horrible creatures in here. Yeah.
But once he gets into the second and, to a lesser extent, the third movie, despite the fact it's the best out of the three, it just moves along much more coherently through the latter 2/3. The movies over the books.
Yeah.
Because unfortunately, Tolkien was a bit of a dry writer when it came to, okay, time to go on an adventure.
So that's what I've been saying for forever, man. I say that's my only real problem with Tolkien is that his prose
dry as fuck.
His prose are really dry and very boring. I say the story elements and all that other kind of stuff. Yeah, it's great. Hell yeah, I get it. I get why Tolkien is a revered writer. It's just he needed to take a writing class.
The Silmarillion gets even worse.
Yeah.
For that dry aspect, but it's a really interesting collection of tales.
What's that, Sora?
I also wonder, like, how much of his writing style is of the period, that sort of the dry...
Yeah, that's a good point.
Because he is in a sort of a different time frame, it's so full of detail that you don't really care about sometimes, but it's just like, well, it's not a picture book, so you kind of have to have the details to really fill in,
True.
I don't know. But I for me, it was the same. I just couldn't. I really tried to get to read Lord of the Rings, because even at the time when the first movies came out, I was like, no, books are always better. And I was like, maybe not in this time.
Maybe not always. I'm trying to think of other stuff that I've watched the movie after having read the book. There's not a whole lot, because one of the ones that immediately comes to mind for me when it comes to a comparison of book and movie is Who Framed Roger Rabbit, and the book it was based on, Who Censored Roger Rabbit.
I didn't know it was based on a book.
Oh yeah, by I think it's Dashiell Hammett. I can't remember. Wait, hold on. I need to correct myself here just in case. Gary K. Wolfe, who was a contemporary of Dashiell Hammett. So it's much more of a mystery than the movie was. The movie had a lot of, tie-ins with cartoons at the time. Is the only on-screen comparison between Disney and Warner Brothers. Also with a few MGM stuff, like there was Droopy Dog. No, the major thing that's different about the book versus the movie is that Who Censored Roger Rabbit is told about comic strips, not cartoons, not animation. So when people sit there and talk about, like one cartoon talking to another, all of the cartoons have word bubbles that pop up in their head as well as the auditory sounds. So the area around Los Angeles is just littered with word bubbles that had popped out of Toon's faces and then fallen to the ground. There's a whole industry dedicated to mopping up and cleaning up all of the excess word bubbles from all of the cartoons. It's great.
That's kind of that's really cool.
Also, the major difference is that it's a multiple murder scenario. Throw out all of the idea about there being a will to give Toontown to the Toons. None of that is in the book. The book is entirely a murder plot, and it's trying to exonerate Roger Rabbit from murdering a couple of humans. the twist at the end of the book is that he did it.
No,
Yes.
not Roger.
Oh, yes. And Jessica Rabbit is an absolute cunt in that book. There's nothing redeeming about her. In fact, actually, she files for divorce against Roger. Yeah, the book is really depressing and very much a noir story.
Lovely. So, I'm guessing they decided to like, hey, you know what? Let's not have such a depressing character be our main guy.
Well, they transferred a lot of the sort of pathos that Roger had, because Roger was going through a lot of shit, including people trying to kill him. People trying to use him to like ladder climb in the industry, and his wife trying to set him up for a whole bunch of other different crimes, and serving him divorce papers, and all this other kind of stuff that he just snaps and murders a whole bunch of people. Another thing that they established too is that toons in the book can do what's called giving themselves a doppelganger, and the doppelganger has a finite lifespan. It's so that toons can do stunts. So, like, you know, when an anvil falls on someone's head, it's the doppelganger that gets an anvil falling on top of their head.
Interesting.
And the doppelgangers always die, but they're meant to. Like, their existence is... They're essentially like a short-term clone of a toon that's meant to be violently hurt in some sort of way. It's so the toon doesn't get hurt, and the doppelganger doesn't really have a very long lifespan anyway. The premise of the book is that the toon Roger that approaches Eddie Valiant to try and solve this murder case is a doppelganger of Roger, who's completely innocent. But by the end, when Eddie finds out all of the details of the crime, the doppelganger of Roger kills the original Roger and then fades away because he's a doppelganger. He's not meant to live.
So the original Roger Rabbit did kill people.
Yes.
But his doppelganger was innocent because they're just made to be temporary. So
Yes.
he decides to be vigilante and kill his original.
Well, no, it was the whole ending part where he confronts the original Roger. The original Roger's like sitting in at his desk with a gun pointed at him as soon as he walks in the door, sort of scenario. So
the classic noir.
yeah. The doppelganger Roger took a bullet, you know, for his partner Eddie. Yeah, it's a really damn good book. I do highly recommend people go and read it. It's very good.
It's interesting how completely different it is from the film. So yeah, I think that'd be quite interesting to read.
And I read it in like a weekend. It's a very, very short book.
I still think I would prefer the cute Roger Rabbit of the film.
Well, yes, yeah, of course. I say, like I said, it's very, very much a noir story, which is one thing I really kind of enjoyed about it.
Where's the APOC rules?
It's got its own box set.
Of course it does.
And I'm not even sure if it's being sold on the GW store anymore, to be honest. Let's see. Nope. They're not selling the box set on the GW store anymore.
How unfortunate.
But you can buy it on Amazon. I think it's only like $100, if that.
Nope. You were so upset you decided to leave us.
Yes,
Oh.
I am cussing fit about the fact that I can't play 20,000 point games easily.
No, you can. APOC still cellophane sealed on Amazon, only $38.
Wow.
It's way less than it retailed for.
Is APOC just not very popular, or?
It's a very niche sort of game. It's for people that have a shit ton of models. Like me.
Yes, where playing a 600 PL game is actually justified.
Well, it's funny too, because you know how APOC works, right? You activate by detachment.
Yes, hence why you need like 10, 20,000 points of minis.
Mm-hmm. Oh, Jake, did you fart? Jake farted. Is that it? Is your tummy feeling grumbly? Was that it? Huh?
Oh.
Is that why you're so... Okay.
And I think you just explained why the full-size Titans are sort of going out of stock on Forge World.
Is the lack of interest in APOC?
And the fact that most standard 40k games
Don't allow for Titans. They just straight up don't.
right, your standard game 2,000 points, you can bring a Warhound, but
That's going to be pretty much your whole army.
that is the whole army.
Yeah.
And even going to the maximum I've ever played, yeah, I'm barely bringing Reaver and some other things. The largest point game I've ever played is 5,000.
Mm-hmm. I could almost play a 5,000 point game with my Blood Angels. I think I've got 4,800 something for Blood Angels.
Meanwhile, I'm sticking here with 480 in Blood Angels, 550 in Knights, and I think 1,300 in Imperial Guard.
You don't have Blood Angels.
Nope, no Blood Angels.
You said 480 Blood Angels.
Oh, 480 in Salamander.
There you go.
Yeah, get it right.
Hey, it's one noble chapter for another. I know there's a lot of differences, and quite a few people were bit my head off for making the comparison.
No, they're bros. Of all of the Space Marines ever to have existed, the only two that have any sort of actual, like, camaraderie with each other are the Blood Angels and the Salamanders.
Because they both get it. It's for the normal people, not for this run off and gain glory.
Mm-hmm.
I like that. They're bros. That's cute.
Yeah. They're actual bros. Bro Starties. Oh my goodness. This little dog.
Oh.
I say I'm the reason why you haven't seen any painting going on right now is because Jake crawled into my lap and he's not letting me paint.
That's okay.
That's fine. We're about to end the stream anyway. We've been going for over an hour, so. Okay, everyone, thank you all for coming out. We've been your Minions of the Zoo.
Thank you.
Yes. And I say, and just remember, get a hobby. And I say, Sora got one. She's got her cross stitching, going on now. We got plenty of people that have good hobbies. So get a hobby, and yeah. Be sure to check out tomorrow night where Skep Tock is the host, and I think that's it. The zoo is closed. Take care of it.
Sweet dreams.
Night.